Now, I didn't come here to come on this YouTube video to get at a 15-year-old kid for smoking bud on Instagram. I ain't come here to do that. Because the fact of the matter is, some of you got kids out there, you got a 13-year-old daughter who's getting a train ran on her by kids at her school. Let's talk about that. Some of you got 15-year-old sons that's throwing up their set on the corner of the street and y'all don't even know what's going on. Let's talk about that. So that's what we're not going to do. We're not going to bash the 15-year-old kid for smoking bud online. It is what it is. Most of these kids today, coming up, they posting everything on IG, Twitter, Instagram. That's just what they do. Is it stupid? Is it smart? It ain't smart. To me, it's dumb. But at the same time, we was all there before. We was all kids. And growing up in this era today, the social media era, everybody's posting everything. Everything's got to be online. But let's get into it. The fact of the matter is, Wall Street, you know, the place where everybody's making that money, most of your Wall Street heads is doing a line of coke on their lunch break. Let's talk about it. When they go to the bathroom and they're on break, or they're going out for lunch, they're getting a quick bump off that $100 bill. That's your Wall Street guy, the guys that's making all that big money. The world-class Olympian, Michael Phelps, who got 13, 14, I don't even know, I haven't even looked at it, gold medals, blows it down. During practice, before a meet, before a trial run, Michael Phelps is in that water, smacked. That's facts. So we're not going to get a 15-year-old son of a phenom, LeBron James, and his future son that's coming into the league maybe down the line. We're not going to get at him for smoking bud online. It is what it is. But what I do want to say to LeBron James' son is you got to move differently. You got to move better. Because at the end of the day, you are in the spotlight 100 times over. So what you do is going to get magnified on a bigger scale. It's going to get blown out of proportion. You're 15 years old. There's 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 17-year-olds all doing the same damn thing. 70% of teens today are either drinking or smoking. That's on record. You can go check that out. 70% of teens, they blowing it down or they drinking. They get to somebody, go to the store for them, make that pickup, make that run. They smoking on that Paul George pack. It's that simple. So we're not going to bash a kid for doing what kids do. But as a LeBron James son, look at your father. This is where your father comes in. Look at your father. Because when LeBron James came into the league and before he was in the league, he was on point. Say what you want about LeBron. You don't got to like his game. You don't got to like him. You don't got to like his political stance. But you can't take away from the fact that LeBron James in the spotlight out of basketball is that dude. He don't have not one blemish on him. Everything that relates to LeBron James is either basketball related or political related. That's the only thing bad you could say about him if you want to talk about him bad. But he does not promote any negative images that could hurt his brand. Now, is LeBron James blowing it down too? He might be. He might be with his son. He might have been in the background. He might have been the one who passed it to him. That's their business. That's their household. But when LeBron James came up, and even up to now, you don't see none of that in the limelight. So that's what I'm saying to Bronny James. You gotta move smarter because you are a brand. If you don't realize it, you're a brand and you're coming up. Bronny James, when it's all said and done, if he gets maybe another inch, if his game continues to develop, he will be in the NBA. You will be LeBron James' son in the NBA. You might have your own sneaker. You don't want to ruin that before you even get there. You gotta keep focused and stay on track. Let it be all about basketball. I'm not telling you to not blow down and smoke that Paul George pack. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm not telling you not to go out there, have fun, and do what you do. But don't post everything. Everything don't gotta go online. Everything don't gotta go in the cloud. We don't need to know that. We can guess that and think that, but we don't need to see that. You see, you gotta worry about your endorsements, your marketing, your brand, your vision. Where you going from here? All of that matters. And like your father did, before he came into the league, he was on point. LeBron James knows how to speak to the media. He knows what to say. I'm not saying everything he says is correct or what he does, but you can't get at LeBron James on no slander tip. Ain't no girl coming out the woodwork say, yo, LeBron James got my baby. Ain't nobody got no photo of LeBron James bumping a line real quick. Ain't no pictures, ain't no viral videos of LeBron James smoking. When LeBron James was coming up, The viral video that people were talking about with LeBron is him getting dunked on. That's what it's supposed to be out. It's supposed to be about basketball. So Bronny James, when they talk about you, even at 15 years old, because they're going to talk about you, let them talk about basketball. Don't give them nothing. Don't give them no free energy. Don't give them nothing to work with, because as soon as they get something minor, they own sons, the people that's writing about LeBron James' son, the people that's typing up, writing stories, talking about him, they kids be blowing it down. They damn kids. They daughter is getting a train run on them by the homies. So before you try to sweep somebody else's house, sweep your own house. Worry about your own kids, where your kid is at. LeBron James' kid, he maybe should not have posted that online, but at the end of the day, he's 15 years old. Breathe, relax. But he's got to be smarter to just watch his brand, and that's all I'm saying. Watch your brand, LeBron James, Bronny James. Come up under your father like your father did. And don't let the media or anybody else try to pull a negative limelight to you before you even reach stardom. Because you got a future ahead of you. Regardless, even if you don't play basketball, you're still LeBron James' son. And you got a bright future. So focus on that.